All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to tackle one of those tiny little grammar things that, honestly, makes a huge difference. It's all about how to say no when you're talking about the past. Let's solve this puzzle together. You know that feeling, right? You're trying to explain something that didn't happen, and you say something like, I not made it, and it just sounds a little clunky. You know exactly what you mean, but it doesn't feel quite right. Well, you've just hit on a super common puzzle in English. And seriously, this is something that trips up almost everyone, no matter what level they're at. But the best part? The fix is actually really simple. No, for real, you are not alone with this one. And I promise, once you get this one simple trick, you'll never forget it. It's all about knowing who to call for help. And well, we're about to meet the hero of our story. Okay, so first things first, let's meet our main characters. These are your action verbs. Think of them as already being in their past tense costumes. They've already done the heavy lifting of showing that an action happened and is over. Right. These words are the core of the action. They tell us what went down. So let's introduce a few of our key players here. First up, we've got made. You know, like, I made a cake yesterday. The action's done, it's in the past. Easy enough, right? Next, we have kept, as in, she kept the secret. Again, totally in the past, action's over, all good. And then there's had. We had a great time. The party's over, it happened, and the verb tells us that loud and clear. And last but not least, helped. He helped his neighbor. So all these verbs are just chilling out, living in the past. But what happens when we need to add a little bit of a no to the story? Okay, so this is where it gets interesting, right? How do you take these words that are practically yelling, yes, this happened, and get them to say, nope, absolutely did not happen? So do you just stick a not in there? We kind of already know that sounds weird. Nope. They need some backup. They need a super helper. And here it is. Everybody meet didn't. This one little word is the absolute key. It's short for did not, of course, and it is here to completely save the day. So what does it do? Think of didn't as the super helper that flies in and says to the main verb, hey, you, relax. I've got this. I'll handle the whole past tense thing and the no part. You just go back to being your regular self. Okay, this is the magic moment. Watch this. I made a cake turns into I didn't make a cake. See what happened there? Made gets to change out of its past tense costume and just be make again. Why? Because didn't is doing all the heavy lifting. Let's do another one. She kept the secrets becomes she didn't keep the secrets. You seeing the pattern now? Kept just goes right back to being keep. Our super helper has it covered. And again, we had a great time flips to we didn't have a great time. Had just chills out and goes back to being have. Isn't that a great rule? It's so consistent. All right, one more time just to lock it in your brain. He helped his neighbor becomes he didn't help his neighbor. The moment you bring in didn't, that main verb just gets to go back to its original basic self. Okay, but you know how in English there's almost always an exception to the rule? Always one character that has to be different? Well, in this story, that's the verb to be. It's kind of special. It's strong enough to say no all by itself. So if you say they were at the party, you don't need to call for help. Were just teams up with not to become weren't. They weren't at the party. It handles its own business. A total independent. So, after all that, what's the big takeaway? What does it all boil down to? It's really just one super simple rule that's going to work for almost every action verb you can think of. Let's break it down into 3 simple steps. Step 1, find your action verb. You know, made, kept, whatever. Step 2, call in the super helper, didn't, and stick it right in front. And step 3, this is the key, let your action verb change back to its original form. Make, keep, and so on. And there you have it. If you remember one thing, remember this. The formula is your golden rule. Didn't plus the base verb. I didn't go. She didn't see. We didn't know. It's perfect. It works every single time. So now you've got the trick. The power is yours. So think about it. What's something that didn't happen that you can now explain perfectly? Go on, give it a try. You've got this.